Here we go.
Hi, and welcome to the Jeff and Dan Show. I'm your host, Jeff, and this is my other host,
Jeff. It's Halloween. Ooh.
Oh, yes, it is. Happy Halloween, everybody.
So we can get spooky. Yes.
Oh, shit.
What would you like to talk about now, sir?
You know, there was something you wanted to talk about, but first I just wanted to say that my sister Susie sells seashores down by the seashell.
She sells seashores?
No.
Seashores sucks.
My sister Susie sells seashells.
Seashells.
Damn, this is going to be tough, but I'm going to get
She
it
sells
out.
she sheds.
My sister Susie sells seashells in her she shed down by the seashore.
There you go.
So I shot her.
So I simply shot her.
I shot my sister.
But I did not shoot her fucking husband.
Should have.
Yeah, probably.
Dude, have you ever listened to old songs and just sung with them and eventually one day got their meaning?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Take that song with me. The night the lights went out in Georgia.
Yeah. Which was a fucked up movie, but yeah.
It wasn't until about maybe 4 or 5 years ago I realized the girl singing the song was the killer, the one that shot and sent the boy to jail.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
40 years later, I wasn't compensated for that.
We should have known about this bitch a long time ago.
Anyway, I don't know why I wasn't taught in schools. Yeah. Reading, writing, and nights went out.
The night the lights went out in Georgia.
Yeah.
The night the lights went out in Georgia. Yeah, okay.
It's the night they hung an innocent man.
Yeah. See, that's the interesting part, man, is sometimes you get songs from the past and you go, oh my God, that's what they've been singing? Wow, that's really fucked up. A great example of that would be ZZ Top had a song called Tush.
Tush?
Yeah. Now the one that goes, I'm not looking for some loving. I'm just looking for a little touch. I always thought it was touch. It's tush.
Tush?
Yeah.
So they talking about getting some ass?
Yes, exactly.
Getting some ass!
Some ass grabbing, good time. Here, we're going to offer some hands. Give your hands up, Dan. Let's do some ass grabbing. Ladies, gentlemen, put your asses up against the screen. I don't discriminate. He might. Just go ahead. Right there. With
please.
the ass grabbing. With the grabbing of the asses.
Anyone over 18 for me, please. Or 64. Anybody over 64.
Anybody over 64. Mildred, that's you.
Anybody with a heartbeat. Anybody with a heartbeat.
Dude, it's a hole in a heartbeat. Anyway.
Yes.
So,
you have a project very near and dear to your heart, don't you?
Yeah, I don't know that it's near and dear so much as it is interesting, but yes, definitely something I would like to share. There is something going on in the world where our planet is dying, man. It's dying. It's dying.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
In order for us to continue breathing, we need to rely on the fact that we have planted trees. Trees are important because trees convert what we consider our exhalations of carbon dioxide back into oxygen. So to have many, many numerous trees throughout the world is a really, really good idea. Right now there's a program going on that is an organization that's being sponsored by Mr. Beast, who is a YouTube video guy. Who does a bunch of really, really cool stuff, like he'll go out and give people cars. He'll hand somebody $10,000 just for shits and giggles. He'll literally, I've seen him give somebody a brand new car and then give them the money that the car was worth because he felt they deserved it. I don't know. He picks people at random, but he has so many people viewing him on YouTube that he makes enough money that he can turn around and donate that money or give that money away to people.
Is he the one where they have fans following him and then he'll announce that there's $100 hidden in the park, and people just go nuts looking for this $100.
Might be.
Or,
But usually what he does is generosity guaranteed, like focus on specific people. Like he'll go in and search down, people that he knows.
Seek out a single individual.
Yes, one of those things.
In
And
a
he
sea
flies
of
around.
people.
Yeah, he flies around everywhere and does this stuff. He's swimming in a sea of people. So he's really cool. And then Mark Rober, who's also the guy who does very similar stuff online. But it's been followed up by a whole bunch of other people. Jacksepticeye, I believe, is doing it. Dan TDM has actually gotten involved. There's quite a few video gamers and people who do a lot of YouTube videos. But anyway, the thing is they want to try and plant 20 million trees.
Where?
Around the globe.
Wow.
Yes. So
Any
around
particular-
the world.
Any particular ideas?
Type breed?
Well, that was the next question, but I'm looking specifically locations for these trees.
Just places that.
Because there's
really
places that
trees.
really need trees.
Yeah.
Haiti really needs trees. Have you ever heard of Haiti, Jeff?
Yes, I have heard of it.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's 90 miles away from
Yes.
someplace.
No, it is. It is global. So it's
It's
like a bunch of different places that have been stripped of trees.
Yeah.
And whether it's deforestation, it's something going on where people are, tearing out the trees, or there's been forest fires like California right now, so the Getty fires. It's really, really bad right there right now. So to be able to replant these trees by the beginning of the year is a great thing.
You know what? This is probably going to start an argument with all of our viewers.
Okay.
So if both of them will just please be calm.
Just chill.
It's their own damn fault they're having these huge fires.
Yes, to an extent, you're right. The Amazon is definitely one of those things where it's kind of like, well, the guy that was running it fucked up.
What? No, I'm not talking about the Amazon. I'm talking about California.
Oh, why?
California specifically has laws where you can't go in as much as pee in these protected areas. You
Yeah.
can't as much as take an old dead tree out of these protected areas.
Yeah.
One of responsible forest management is cleaning up the dead shit. And they ain't cleaning up their dead shit.
But that doesn't. We don't have forest fires though, and we got tons of forest land that doesn't get cleaned up. Our general state lands don't get cleaned up at all.
We do have fires, but they're not near in comparison. We may have more rain, but they certainly have more winds.
Yeah, which is a lot more detrimental to that kind of thing. Yeah, to an extent I can understand forest management, but to be able to get people out there to actually, scrape the forest floors just seems a little bit. Especially when you think about it like this, California doesn't really ever experience winter when it comes to southern and middle California. So there's really no dying trees. They're always living. So there's not really that much stuff on the forest floor.
you still got something on the forest floor.
Well, you might have some stuff. Bark, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. But I mean, moss, that's definitely a thing. But you don't want to rip up too much moss because that'll mess things up. But no, but the thing is, this really cool thing that I'm talking about here is they want to plant 20 million trees. And what we're talking about is actually called Team Trees. That's right. And I was pointed to it by another broadcast that we're friends with on Twitter. So far, they have planted 6,483,536 trees. Now, that's not actually planted, but that's the money that they have raised so far.
Well, it says
that's
right
probably
there
going to go up.
It went up
It went up exponentially.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, within like the last hour, it went up almost $1 million. So
$1 plants a tree.
yes. So if you donate $1 or $5 or $20, depending on whatever you'd like to, be able to afford $50, $100. You can even put an obscure amount if you really want. I'm pretty sure.
What if I just go out and plant a couple trees?
Well, you can do that too. But that's basically what this whole thing is about. It's really kind of just getting people to realize we need to plant more trees, and we really do, to replenish the ones we've lost. But not only that, to also help with the carbon dioxide problems that we're having. which is one of the natural, elements that's causing much of, climate change, the different global atmosphere, especially now at the winter level.
Well, I disagree. I
don't?
disagree with the whole climate change. And I'm probably going to piss off everybody that listens to us. No.
Make it educated.
Dude, you know how heavy a 5-gallon bucket of water is?
Yes.
It's got some weight to it.
Sure.
No, it's not overpoweringly heavy, but it's got some weight to it.
Sure.
How much energy do you think it would take to raise 100 5-gallon buckets straight up into sky and haul ass all the way up and through Pennsylvania and drop it over Pennsylvania?
100 buckets wouldn't even be enough to cover Dillsburg.
So that would be 500 gallons, right?
Yeah.
How much energy do you think it would take to drive that?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. How much energy do you think it would take to drive? So you see what I'm getting at, though, right?
No.
No?
I don't think anybody does.
Water is turned into gas and floated up into the atmosphere.
Evaporation.
And floated somewhere else and dropped.
Yes.
All over the
Condensation
world.
drop. Yes.
All over the world. Where is the energy coming to lift that water, which is more than, a 5-gallon bucket, more than
A lot
105 gallon buckets,
A lot more.
and drive it all the way 1,000. What I'm thinking is Gulf of Mexico up here to Pennsylvania
Okay.
in a typical rain nor'easter pattern.
Okay.
How much energy does it take to make that all the way up into the New England states? All that water, all that way. There's only one power source that I know of that can come up with that,
Okay.
and that's the sun.
Yeah. Yep.
So if it's having problems or if it's changing, and we have proven that it goes in cycles.
Yeah.
It gets its period, I don't know, like every 28 years.
It's 22.
22 years.
Minimums and maximums. Yeah, every 11 years it changes. It goes from a solar minimum to a solar maximum. We're in a solar minimum right now.
Sonopause.
The sun hasn't changed, dude. The thing that has changed is the amount of coverage we have protecting us from the beams and rays of the sun. That's what the carbon dioxide's doing. It's making it so that the sun can boil up the oceans a little bit easier. The other thing, too, is that when fresh water melts, it makes the oceans blacker. Okay? Because there's less salt condensed, in that area, so the oceans become darker. And when they do, they heat up so much easier. And what happens when you get that heat is evaporation. But the rain's not even the part of the global change that we're talking about. The part we're talking about is that evaporation of the system that keeps us balanced. If you have all of this carbon dioxide going up into the atmosphere, you're destroying basically the layers that's above us. Number one. Number two, you're also squeezing out the nitrogen and oxygen that we breathe at the same time. But that won't affect us as quickly as the sun burning us to death, like right away. And that's the reason why we would heat up so much quicker. That's the reason why we die so much faster when that happens. Well, we haven't gotten to that point yet, but we're heading there. We're heading in that direction. It's just how long is it going to take? Some people say by the end of the century it will be in effect.
No.
Some people say that it's happening
No.
right now. The 5 hottest summers on record since 1889 have happened in the past 6 years.
1889.
Yes. That's when we started keeping records.
Okay, yeah, that's not even 150 years.
Right. It's not. Yeah,
Dude,
it's-
are you saying humans caused climate change?
I'm not saying it's 100% humans, but the majority of it, yes.
So what humans were around to cause the Ice Age?
There weren't any humans
What
around
humans
to
were,
cause it.
were around to cause the warming of the Ice Age?
But
to
the Ice Age
to-
is the opposite of what we're experiencing.
It
If it's the
goes in
opposite and there's no
cycles.
humans there,
It goes in cycles.
but it doesn't go in cycles. Not like it has been going in this cycle.
Yeah, I'm afraid it does go in cycles,
If-
dude.
But
And
that's the
it's
thing.
really hard to prove that because
Okay, well, let me ask you this. How long have we had technological advancements? How long have we had industry?
well, maybe the best answer would be the Industrial Revolution in the late 1800s.
Which, yeah, would started around the 1700s, would start working its way in at the 1800s, and then we would start going to factory levels at that point. When would you say the first factories were born that would be polluting the world? Don't tell me you think that, like, no factories at all pollute the world. Don't tell me that. Because you know as well as I do.
Show me one.
He's a good joker, man. Better than Joaquin Phoenix. No, I'm just fucking.
Dude, everything produces these things that you're talking about.
But not at the levels that they do now. Okay,
But the things that you use, the things that we use, produce these things.
right.
Like, okay. Like coal.
Okay,
Coal is supposed to be this bad, evil fuel.
sure. What does it emit?
What's that?
When you burn it, what does it emit?
You know what? I don't really even know. But,
Carbon.
okay, carbon. Nobody's turning down their fucking lights.
No, you're right. And that's problematic in a way, but we are changing the way that we do lights.
Maybe so. And if it's more efficient, sure.
The 14
Sure.
lights the 14 lights we have on in this room right now still don't equal one incandescent bulb.
Well,
There's 14 lights in this room
is-
on right now, and they still don't equal the one incandescent bulb. So
One incandescent bulb is going out. Why? Why is it going out?
What do you mean? What do you mean going out? Is it burning out?
No, phasing its way, going out the door.
Oh, because it's completely and utterly a piece of shit.
But it's inefficient, right?
It's super inefficient. Yes.
Something more efficient come along,
11,
and that's
11%
great.
efficiency, yeah.
But I think that's more driven by people's wallets than it is.
But this is 98% efficiency that
That's
we
great.
have in here.
That's great.
So, like, I could have almost double this and still beat a 60-watt bulb. It's crazy.
You could be 100% efficient if you turn them out.
That's true. But what we're getting down to is that the people that are out there, okay, first of all, the population is still expanding. It will always expand, right? How many people were alive in the, in Jesus Christ time? How many? What was the population, do you think?
No idea.
When we came here in the
No idea.
1500s, I'll say 1776.
1776?
Okay, what was the population in 1776? How many people were in the United States at that point in time?
30, 40. A total of 212,000 soldiers served under George Washington. So, taking that as maybe 20% of the population, I'd say about $1 million.
A million people. $1 million, just guys, huh? No, 3 million. 3 million is the
3
answer.
million?
3 million is the answer. Now that included slaves. That included the Native Americans. That included people from, all walks of life and all candors. But that was what the populace was of the United States
really?
around that point in time.
I had just included white rich men.
Yes, you did. Fact of the matter is, there were 3 million people there. How many people in the United States now?
330 million last I counted.
Well, according to the census that's getting ready to come up, there's an estimated 375 million people now.
Okay. All right. We're growing.
That's over 100% increase. That's a way over 100% increase. 3 million people from that point in time to 375 million people now.
Okay.
What do we breathe?
Air.
Oxygen, right? What do we emit?
Air.
Carbon dioxide. And partially air. There is partial oxygen in it, and there is partial nitrogen in it, and other little trace elements. But the majority of us exhale carbon dioxide. That being said, just that fact alone, 3 million people at that point in time, 375 million people now, do you see the increase that we are causing? Just go with that. Don't even look at industry. Don't even look at all that shit. Do you see the difference in what's happening between then and then?
Like a drop in the bucket.
It is. It really is. So now, that being the case, you're talking about all of these people are now emitting carbon dioxide. All of these people. Now, back in 1776, how many cars did we have? Just cars. Not motorcycles, not RVs, not pickup trucks rolling around with their fucking big ass roll bars and the mullets and just fucking out the back. How many cars did we have?
On the road or sit?
We had 0. Now we have, I think it's something like 190 million cars. Each one of those produces greenhouse gases, whether it's carbon dioxide or
shit
carbon
always
monoxide.
find me.
I don't know, man. You just like that really, really unlucky dude with cars.
No, I seek them out.
Oh, okay.
Anyways.
Like that piece of shit there, I want that one. But see what I'm saying? This is only little progressive things. Little things that are happening that I can prove that humanity is actually causing this over a period of time. Just small things. That's just the small stuff. That doesn't include the diesel trucks. Damn, we got to that one quick.
10 minutes. We got 10 minutes left.
Oh, okay.
That was just 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. That doesn't include the trucks that we have rolling around, and that doesn't include the industries that we now have, that we have always not had, and now just starting to progressively increase those over time. That doesn't include the emissions that we're putting out from all of those things. It doesn't account all of the deer that are in the state of Pennsylvania that wasn't here before. You know, at one point in time, there might have been 50,000 deer. Now there's over 22 million deer.
No,
You see what I'm saying?
No, that's
I know.
not right.
I know that number. That number's inaccurate.
No.
I will mention that is inaccurate. But that you see what I'm saying? There's an increase. There's always going to be an increase, even with our birth-death rate dropping. Right now in the United States, our birth-death rate is dropping massively. In other words, that means people are dying off at a faster rate than we're actually able to rebuild. Now, I have done everything that I can. You have done everything that you can. But it's just the fact that our kids now have to get into the sack and do their job. Do their thing.
They don't even want one.
Exactly. So that's why our birth-death rate's dropping. That's the reason why we're getting to the point where we're dying off faster than we're repopulating. Which is okay. That's okay because every single civilization in history has done this. Eventually there will be no Americans. I'm just messing with you. No, there will be Americans. There's always that, collective. But
Well, that's getting into another whole can of beans. Anyway.
Waxy beans. Can of waxy beans. Waxy beans. I'd like to eat some beans right now. Damn, that sounds tasty.
Do they really use wax to make wax beans?
No, they don't. It's just the surface, the texture that they have on the outside of it. Damn it, we're sidetracked so fucking easily. What were we talking about?
Shiny beans. Your wax job.
Wax jobs.
Team trees.
Whacking at the waxing. Oh, sorry. It's like the car wash, but just a wax.
Wax job. Whoa.
Working on my wax job. Oh shit, bye, bro. Bye, bro. Ah. Anyway, it's still there. I'm just fucking with it. So anyway, that's kind of what we were talking about. We're getting down to that teamtrees.org. If you visit there, you can make a difference by helping to build trees. Wait a minute. We're building trees. We're planting trees. Planting trees. So you can help by getting there and donating $1 or $2 or $5 or $10 or $100, whatever. I'm gonna do 1,000 now, so get ready on this fucking. Every dollar helps. They're gonna help to plant a tree someplace. I'm pretty sure it does. Anyway, you always have to be kind of skeptical about any type of charity from now on. I always am. I'm always taking a look at charities very closely as much as I can. I like to do my research, but teamtrees.org. Get on board, man. Save some world.
Save some world.
There's no problem with trying to save the world, honestly, to be truthful. If we have to cut back on certain things, LED bulbs like that we have in here, they're becoming really cheap. I mean, you can buy them for like $1 a piece. Well, these you can't, but these are studio lights, a little bit different. But you can get, cheap lights, 99 cents a piece or whatever, or a box for $2, 3 bulbs or whatever. And help save in that way. But like Dan said, and he's right. He is actually right about that. You could just turn the lights off and shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But-
Sit in the dark.
That's right. But here we are. We're here, running your ear off, fucking making your life a living, whatever the hell it is. It's a living something.
Well,
It's
dude,
a
I'll tell
living
you what.
organism.
Tell you what I'm going to do to help my part
Okay.
with the overpopulation and the emissions and all that stuff.
All right.
Next time I'm sitting in my car and it's running so it's cold and I can have the heat and listen to the radio on
Yes.
so all these gases don't escape into the planet,
Yeah.
I'm going to park the car in the garage.
I don't know how
I'm
well
just
that
kidding.
worked.
Please don't call. Please don't call social services. I am totally kidding.
We have to do a welfare check on Dan. Something seems to be off. His car is running and he's in the garage. We don't understand. So, no, don't think about doing that. Don't do that. Just
Just joke, folks. Thank you.
Don't off-put yourself. Definitely stay cool and work on trying to cut back on the stuff. But to be honest with you, folks, it's a really, really tough gig to try and catch up to being green. There's just no easy way to do it. You know, everybody's like, oh man, if I recycle, things are going to get, so much easier. I'll just recycle and things are cool. No, recycling doesn't work that well. As a matter of fact, the majority of places that take recycling now just want to get rid of it. They're just like,
Yes. Well,
know.
first of all, the Chinese aren't taking our crap anymore.
Right. And neither are the African nations. They're actually starting to scale back on that too.
So, you know what? Let me ask you a question. What do you think about let me get your opinion on, what do you think about going back to glass bottle deposits?
I do.
And glass,
Yeah, I agree. I agree that that's actually something good. The only reason we got rid of it was for two reasons, technically. One was because lighter and easier to ship, which makes a lot more sense. And two, the level of safety when it comes to glass bottles and glass containers.
Shatterproof.
Yes, pretty much. Well, yeah.
Not
you remember?
proof.
You
Not
remember?
proof.
You remember Gatorade bottles?
yeah.
They used to be glass, man. You could get them. They were a glass bottle. You could take them and throw them against the ground, and they would not shatter to save your ass. You would just be like, I need this bottle to shatter, or this guy's gonna fucking kill me. Ding, 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 ding. Son of a bitch. I've never seen a glass bottle do that before. That bitch has got some rubber in it or something. I was talking about rubber earlier. But, yeah. That's the thing. I agree. We should go back to glass stuff.
I'm interested in forming a committee and doing a study.
Oh no, the Greenites are coming to get us. What?
I'm interested in forming a committee and doing a study on how if that would impact us at all.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I think it would. I think it'd be a good thing. It'd put us back into a place where we're not building up so much plastic bullshit.
Well, there's a couple things you have to look at, and one of them is, which is one of has always been, excuse me, a good chunk of the people just don't play along.
Right. Yeah.
You know, they
People
don't
don't believe
recycle;
in
they
it.
just put it all in their trash.
Right. They don't believe in it.
Yeah,
They don't believe in it.
and some people have no choice but to do that, like giant apartment communities or complexes. It just all goes in one dumpster
Right.
and goes into some landfill
Exactly.
in New York City.
Exactly. And they even said when we started recycling, it has to be an all or nothing kind of thing, and we've sort of fallen by the wayside.
But you know, one thing I want to know, we can take, I know for a fact, we can take glass, smash it down into powder, and recycle it and use it again as make more glass.
Yes,
Can we do that with plastics?
we can.
We can smash it down into powder.
We can't smash it down into powder, but we can make it into small chips.
Melt it down.
Yes. Well, they go into what happens is you create it into a block, and then this block gets chipped up into small chips, and then they send these chips to wherever the manufacturers are. The problem is those small chips have been proven to be getting out into the environment, and they're not doing a really good job of keeping everything sane.
They're in our poop, dude.
Yeah, Every
Plastic
place.
is in it. Little plastic pieces are in our poop.
Everything. I mean, like you go to some of these places that make bottles or make, or even the small plastic chips, and you go outside of the place and there's tons and tons of these things.
I shit a baggie.
Again, I gotta put my shit in it. That's just weird. You shit a baggie. But no, I think glass is a little bit better of an option because what used to happen with glass and recycled glass, I don't know if you know this or not, but they didn't smash it down into, they would just wash it,
Well, that doesn't surprise me, but
which is hygienically fine.
they're yeah.
You get up to 300 degrees, 400 degrees in water, that point where it's past boiling, but you've got it contained so it stays really hot, and then they blast it into these bottles. Man, nothing lives on that, but a lot of people just didn't like the sanitary ideas or notions of glass being just washed. You know what I mean?
I don't have no problems with it.
I don't either.
But
That's
you-
what I've always thought. Wine bottles. You know what I mean? I'm like wine bottles, liquor bottles, beer bottles, all that shit. But I like your idea of just taking and smashing it down to powder, making reusable.
There's a company that already does that.
Yeah, I'm pretty
There's
sure there is.
What's that?
I'm pretty sure there is.
Yeah, there is.
So there's a place not that far from here in Chambersburg. Apparently, I think they're still in business. Was doing that with plastic. You would take recycled plastic to them. You would have it. You would do the separation yourself.
According to color, or
According to codes, there's 7 types of plastic. I know that's the problem. That's one of the biggest problems is we can't come up with just one type of plastic and use that. It has to be multiple types of plastic. But we have 7 different types of plastic. Each of them has a code stamped on it with a little recyclable seal. And that code tells you what kind of plastic it is. It's either HPDE or it's, HDPE. Sorry, I had that backwards. High density polyethylene, which is, this really, really condensed plastic. And then you get more and more loose as you go from there. The thing is, though, you have to separate those plastics. Like 2-liter bottles are a great example. I believe it's 2-liter bottles. They have a cap and then they have the bottle. The cap is made of a different plastic than the bottle used to be. I don't know if it's still that way, but it was. So it was like, okay, well, if I'm going to recycle these, I have to have this kind of plastic and this kind of plastic. You see what I'm saying?
now you need 7 recycle bins.
Right, exactly. And a lot of
And
people...
you have to educate the people.
Yeah, they didn't want to put up with that shit.
Now, half of those people won't even bother.
Right.
The other half that are going to educate won't get it and give up. So now you're down to 25%.
Well,
Half of those only do it half the time.
Right.
So now you're down to
A quarter.
12%.
Yeah.
13%.
Yeah.
15%.
Yeah. Somewhere in there. But that's the thing. This place in Chambersburg, if you take the plastic there, you have it pre-sorted, you take it there, they form it down into boards. And you can make decking boards with that.
I've seen that before.
Yeah. And they can multiple different colors you can get, all kinds of neat stuff. You can get them striated. You can get them, already has a pattern on it. You can get it so that it has, little waves of different colors in it. It's really, really wicked, the place. And the boards are really super cheap.
Yeah?
And they'll pay you to bring in the bottles. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. You're going to need like a fucking semi-trailer to make $10, but that's... what you get, you know what I mean? But they turn around and make that shit, and then you can, as a customer, come in and buy it. And it's like, it's a crazy low price. It's a lot lower than like if you went and bought, these Trex boards or whatever for making decks at, Home Depot or whatever. It's cheaper than that, a lot cheaper. And they make different widths and different sizes, and they can extrude different various, sizes. Like you can get a nice big thick board, or wide or whatever. It's kind of nice.
What do you think's easier to make old people slip on, these plastic boards or cement?
Well, if you get them so that they have the little patterns on them, it would be the cement.
Cement would be...
Yeah. Unless it's brushed cement. Like I have brushed cement in my backyard. So brushed cement has that little rough texture to it so that people won't get slippery and slatty whenever the rain comes down or whatever. So it's kind of cool in that way.
So you're saying use the plastic, they'll slide right off.
Unless it has the little boards on top. Yeah, they won't slide right off. Oh, you want them to slide off. You want them to die.
Oh, I asked you, dude. You're the one that came up with the answer. I was just asking the question.
I got you. All right, that's cool. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Remember to visit teamtrees.org. We've passed our time a little bit here.
Thank you for tuning in.
Yes.
Teamtrees.org thanks
Yes.
us too for every dollar they get, they will plant a tree. Am I
Yes.
correct?
$1, plant a tree. You got it. Yes, and they want to reach 20 million by before 2020, so they can start planting trees, which I think they're going to do. If they jumped up $1 million in like an hour, so
Well, they got 3 months yet, 2 months yet.
2 months. Yeah. So very good. This has been the Jeff and Dan Show. If you like what you saw, subscribe to us on YouTube. It's around here somewhere. Anyway, subscribe. And we shall be talking to you sometime very shortly. Yes.
Twitter.
He's talking at his penis. Facebook. I'm pointing at your penis
Hey,
now
that F
too.
is backwards. Did you see that?
Yes, it's been.
Oh,
It's been. Yeah, so it's kind of cool.
the anti-Facebook.
Kind of like here's Facebook. Anyway, it's the Jeff and Dan Show. I'm Jeff.
I'm gay.
I'm gonna be leaving now.
I'm kidding.
I don't know that I actually want to be hanging out. What the fuck, man? Jeez, dude. Very good. So we will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a wonderful week. We'll talk to you in about 5 minutes.
Thank you. Good night.